Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology today. My name is Melrose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today, I just want to remind you very quickly to remember why it is that you're doing what you're doing. That thing that you do to build stability in your life, to make sure that you've got food on the table and a roof over your head. Remind yourself, when it gets a little drudging or treacherous, why it is that you do what you do. Keep that internal fire going, right? Keep that appreciation up for what it is that you're working for. All right, let's get into these aspects. Today is Wednesday, September 21, 2022. The Sun and Venus are together in the land of Virgo here, just through tomorrow evening when we meet the changing of the season with the Sun's ingress to Libra. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is currently retrograde and headed back that way. So I like to think of us giving a lot of reflection and consideration as to how the things we have going on in our lives are working out for us. Sun in Virgo is a time to put things in order so that they add to our sense of confidence in our resources. The waning crescent moon is in Leo. We are still a few days from the new moon, and so we continue to release the things that no longer serve us. Leo reminds us to appreciate ourselves, and this can lead to some pretty self-centered behavior. In terms of releasing, perhaps this is a time to let go of a truly selfish self-indulgence that is doing more harm than good at this time. Mutable earth and fixed fire, friends. Flame transmutes matter into ashes, releasing any gas or liquids, breaking down metals and carbon until they are fine, silty dust. It's a time to, through determination and with a sense of joy, break down the things that used to matter but no longer do, so that they can be more easily disposed of. Okay, first, friends, let's take a look at what the moon is doing today. This has to do with our personal lives and how it feels to be us and who we are when we're at home among the people that we love. And here's the moon on the page, transiting Leo. So the only aspect for today actually happens after midnight. At 1 a.m. on Thursday morning, moon goes sextile to Mars. And if you're up at this hour, it's a good time to interact, play a game, help out with a task. In other words, cooperate in a way that gives us a sense of accomplishment, right? That's feeling cooperative and accomplishing something right there. If you're not up at this hour, I wish you sweet dreams that show you perhaps workable, collaborative experiences that may point to solutions in your waking life. On the sun side of the page and in the ongoing column, we do have this grand trine here, Venus, Uranus, and Pluto. Here we go. Venus to Uranus, Uranus to Pluto, Venus to Pluto. 3 trine aspects. These are all in earth signs, okay? So they're feeling that very stability-driven, security-driven vibe at this time. And the triple blessing here of change and of opportunity and of being open is setting us up for some lovely surprises. And I say lovely because Venus is in opposition to Neptune here, with Neptune sextile to both of those other planets. And, far from being in conflict, Venus's opposition to Neptune simply helps us feel more receptive to those delightful, ideal circumstances that we may imagine for ourselves. And we still have this other grand trine here too, and that's the Sun and Uranus and Pluto all trine together, with a Neptune kite, Sun in opposition to Neptune as well. This grand trine is on its way out, as is our skeptical or hesitant approach to following the guidance of our fondest desires. Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Guys, I'm sorry if I forget to call out your signs. Well, working with this kite, though, we've gained some clarity regarding to what those desires are, and we've had some time to consider the changes that are being asked of us in return for those upgrades we seek. This may mean changes to the way we work or what kind of work we do. It can relate to the company we keep in a social or civic context as well. Sun leaving Virgo and entering Libra tells us that justice is being called to prevail. No more working in conditions that don't suit us and don't pay. No more keeping company that indulges our worst impulses while taking advantage of our best qualities. The search for balance is real, especially as we approach the transformations that are already up here in our path. We have a T-square on the page. This is Neptune, Venus and Neptune's opposition, while Mars is square to both of those planets. That's us in the middle. Looking at each of these planets at sort of 90 degrees from one another and from us. So, like I said before, we're in this open and loving state. Venus opposite Neptune, hoping for beauty and balance to come from the transformations that are coming down. And Uranus and Pluto are trying, saying, come on in, the water is fine, right? They're like, jump on in, friends. Then that Mars square to this opposition between Venus and Neptune should only provide some initiative. When those opportunities arise for us to step in the direction of our ideal circumstance, we can't just sit back and passively allow them to roll over us, you know. We have to say yes, we have to stand up, seize the moment and the gift, with gratitude, of course. Mars is also sextile to Chiron here. Aries, Taurus, Libra, and Scorpio. I feel like I'm Bill Cosby and that my pen should make noise when I do that. This indicates a willingness, this Mars sextile to Chiron indicates a willingness to mend any rifts in our friendly or romantic relations, as well as a willingness to admit it when our trust in someone has grown or begun to fade. Mercury is opposite to Jupiter right here. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Jupiter is an intensely positive and growth-oriented figure. Mercury's opposition, while also retrograde, indicates some confusion or some slowdown in the process by which we generally approach the personal expansion, or just personal expansion, not the personal expansion. There are a lot of great options on the table for each and every one of us. Keeping in mind the advice from these aspects, I'm hearing guidance to keep the options open, to allow them to develop and see what begins to look more like a solid opportunity. With Mercury retrograde, we really don't have to act quickly on anything, but we do have to stand up and act, okay? Venus goes quincunx to Saturn. That's this yellow line right here. Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, and Aquarius. This is about striking the balance between responsibility and personal indulgence. Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius here, asking us to reconsider and recommit ourselves to the civic arena of life, the uplift of our fellow humans through community involvement. Venus is over here getting us ready to take on some personal upgrades. The idea is to give both of these things our attention without being too selfish, but also without losing ourselves in the community. And of course, it is retrograde season. Here we have Uranus and Chiron and Jupiter and Neptune and Saturn and Pluto and even Mercury, all retrograde. 7 of the 11 planets that we normally follow are currently moving against the regular flow of our from our limited perspective, which of course is naturally flawed and yet perfect for allowing us to determine our place in the grand scheme of things. And when the grand scheme of things appears to back up, it creates turbulence in our lives that we have to reckon with. Each of these planets has a specific vibe or energy about it that we all work with, whether we know it or not, pretty much all the time. it can be helpful to get in touch with your birth chart and see in what areas of your life you might be feeling these effects, and perhaps a need to adjust our approach to using certain of these energies. It isn't necessarily an easy time of year, right here in the thick of retrograde madness. The best advice I can give is to slow down, pay attention to the details, and ask for help when you need it, because we all need a little help from time to time, right? Okay, coming up tomorrow, the sun makes ingress to Libra, and we celebrate the autumnal equinox. Also, the sun goes conjunct to Mercury tomorrow, putting the spotlight on our retrograde woes. See, they're right here on the cusp of Libra and Virgo, and they're gonna conjunct tomorrow, and then they're gonna go their separate ways again. Perfect, beautiful timing. So that's going to put a spotlight on our retrograde woes, and possibly might help us figure out how to make them work for us. And then the new moon on Sunday in Libra will grace us with an opportunity to pause and appreciate the right now, the present moment, as we shift gears from decrease back to increase. And that's it for today's astrology, friends. Thank you for tuning in. Please like my video, subscribe to the channel, click the notifications bell. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. For the second half of this vlog, which focuses on bringing in further insight from Tarot, please check out my other channel, Astrology Today and Tarot with Mel Rose. The link is in the description. And I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. My love and gratitude go out to each and every one of you. And I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.